You're listening to Bad Girlfriend Radio. I'm your host, Bree Schmidt. I'm a relationship coach and educator offering advice and insight that is no shame, no sugarcoat, and no BS. Today, I have a quickie episode for you about navigating love and dating during the coronavirus. Back in episode 27, I talked about practicing boundaries during the pandemic, especially for those of you who live with your partners and are working from home or just spending a lot of time together recently. But what about those of you who are dating or looking to start dating again? I'll give you some quick tips in today's discussion, so keep on listening. Do you enjoy listening to Bad Girlfriend Radio, but what you really want is a chance to talk one-on-one about dating and relationships? If you are ready to start thriving in dating and your love life, I am here to coach you in personalized coaching sessions that are all about you, and all you need is an internet connection. I offer coaching through private video calls as well as through email, and you can book your first consultation call with me for free if you just head over to breeschmidt.com and tap Work With Me, or you can find the link over in this episode's show description. We'll get deep into the thought patterns and limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and you'll learn how to shift your mindset to gain confidence and empower yourself to live as your highest, best bad girlfriend self in your love life. I'll give you action steps, worksheets, and resources to keep you engaged in growth throughout the whole process. And all of this is tailor-made for you and your needs and your goals. And hey, it doesn't matter if you're single or in a relationship or married. This is about you showing up the way that you want to, no matter your relationship status. Whether you are looking to start dating with confidence, heal through your breakup, or stop fighting with your partner, I am here to work with you. So go to breeschmidt.com and tap Work With Me, or go find the link in this episode's show description. Now, on to today's discussion. I was recently tapped to contribute to an article about dating during coronavirus, and it's mind-boggling and also pretty unfortunate that this topic is still being discussed in July of 2020. This pandemic isn't gone yet. We can't just return to normal. We have to create a new normal. It's been a while since I've mentioned how this pandemic is playing out here in Japan, where I live, so I'll give you a quick update. So I live in Tokyo, and here, business restrictions have been lifted for about a month now, and people are, back in the office, filling up the shopping districts on the weekends, going out for dinner. Trains are crowded again. And unsurprisingly, our cases of the coronavirus are going up a bit lately in Tokyo, but they haven't reached, at least at the time of this recording, they haven't reached the numbers that they were at in the spring. There are some efforts for social distancing, like a lot of stores have markers on the floor for where to stand if you're lining up to check out, for example, so that you can maintain like maybe 1 or 2 feet of distance between each person. But I question how useful that really is, especially when people are still crowding together in other parts of that same store, or on the trains or on the streets. One good thing, though, is that nearly everyone is wearing a mask in public almost at all times, and that could be part of the reason why the cases in Japan have stayed relatively low. But seeing people meeting up with friends again, going to work, more or less returning to regular life here in Japan, I honestly wasn't even thinking much lately about how some of your dating lives may have changed significantly and are still significantly different than 6 months ago or a year ago because of COVID-19. So I wanted to share some of my thoughts and some quick tips to help those of you who are single but looking to date, or who have struggled with dating during COVID and need a little bit of help. So here are my top 7 tips to give your dating life a boost, even during a global pandemic. Number 1, prioritize communication. Sometimes we look for certain romantic gestures or, acts of kindness when we go on dates, like our date offering to pay for the meal, for example. But if you're unable to go on a traditional date, then stop looking for traditional things, right? Prioritize communication. That's pretty much all you have right now. So is it easy to talk to the person, whether that be through messages or through a video chat? Are your conversations fun? Do you have a lot of things in common to talk about? Do they listen to you? And do they remember the details about yourself that you shared? These are the new points to watch for, not who pays for the date, or if they offer you their jacket when you're cold, or if they took you to a really fun location. Number 2, take advantage of the slower pace. You may not get to meet your dates in person much or at all, but embrace this time and space that you have to yourself. Whether you're seeing each other in person occasionally or you're just keeping things digital for now, check in with yourself between those dates and video calls. The beginning stages of dating someone new can be really fun, but sometimes we get caught up in that infatuation. And when that simmers down, you might suddenly question why you ever really cared about that person in the first place. But with more social distancing, it's not so much about infatuation and just excitement. There's a slower pace to dating right now, which actually gives you a chance to think rationally, check in with how you're feeling about that person, and make adjustments when necessary, even if that means realizing that they aren't actually that good of a match after all. And on the other hand, if you can stay patient and your interest in them doesn't waver, it may pay off even more in the end when you can actually meet up. Number 3, embrace online dating. Of course, I'm going to mention online dating in this episode because it's just not realistic or even safe to go out meeting people in bars or clubs or social groups or, however you usually meet people. Online dating is great because there are a variety of different apps and websites depending on what you're looking for and what you prefer. And on each of those apps, there is a huge pool of people, a huge group of people to choose from to weed out who you like and you don't like, which brings me to my next point. Number 4, know what you're looking for. Know what you're looking to get out of online dating right now. Why are you doing this? What is your end goal? I sometimes hear women complain that they keep attracting F-boys or guys who just want to hook up, which, by the way, if that sounds like you, go back and listen to episode 8. I talk all about this struggle in that episode. But it's important to know what you're looking for and what your dating goals really are. If you approach dating just like, oh, I'm just open to whatever seems like a good match, maybe I'm okay with some hookups sometimes, or, maybe a serious relationship if I happen to find the right person, just go with the flow. If you approach dating like this, there's a good chance actually you're not going to get much out of it. Dating can be fun, so, have fun, but be clear. Do you want casual fun, or are you really looking for something more serious, which can also be fun too? And to a lot of people, something casual might mean that you just meet once and then they ghost you. So be clear. Are you good with that? Are you okay with that? Or do you want like a friend with benefits situation? Is that who you're trying to meet? Do you actually want a relationship and a long-term partner and commitment? Figure out what you want and then quickly weed out the ones who don't share the same goal as you. If you want a serious relationship, then don't waste time talking to anyone who makes a lot of superficial comments or just seems really eager to hook up. If you don't want commitment right now, then just talk to the people who want something casual and be upfront with your expectations. And on this note, number 5, know your deal breakers. I know I'm plugging so many past episodes today, but if you haven't already listened to my episode about deal breakers, go take a listen to episode 2. Yes, one of my very first episodes. And it's such an important topic because sometimes we get caught up in projecting our ideal partner or what we hope someone to be that we miss the red flags and the deal breakers. So know what you cannot tolerate in another person. Know your deal breakers. Know who you absolutely should not be dating and stick to that. Tip number 6, get creative when it comes to being intimate. Like I said before, communication is key in dating right now, but when you're getting kind of tired of emotional intimacy and opening up and talking, and you're really craving physical intimacy, get creative with it. Hooking up in person may not be feasible right now, but you can still send pictures as long as you trust the recipient. You can talk about your fantasies or what you'd like to do together once you can meet in person. And let's be real, there are also some really creative solutions when it comes to video chatting, which I won't get into in this podcast, but I think you can get the idea. And if you do meet in real life, assuming that you haven't been staying in quarantine together already, then be safe and practice the same measures that you're practicing in your daily life. Wash your hands. Like, seriously, please wash your hands. And use positions that are not really face-to-face. Again, I'll let you imagine that on your own. And yeah, maybe it's kind of awkward, but wear a mask during your hookup. My last point, number 7, I know it can be frustrating. I know it can feel distant, but that's the point right now. Keep practicing social distancing and spend as much time as you can on dating from a distance. Get to know a new potential partner as much as possible online before meeting offline, for example. Send each other pictures from your day, message regularly, or make video call dates special. You can plan what kind of meal you want to share together through the screen, of course, but you could both maybe, cook the same meal or get the same delivery food. You can wear the kind of clothes that you would usually wear on an actual in-person date. Take time to do your hair or makeup or whatever you would usually do if you were going out to maybe a restaurant or anywhere else. You can watch a movie together instead of going to like a movie theater. Just whatever you can do from a distance, but stick with it. Stay patient, stay strong. There will be a light at the end of the tunnel, I promise. And then when you do meet up in person, you've already established a kind of relationship and bond, and it'll be that much more meaningful. I know some of you right now, especially in some parts of the U.S., are really struggling. Things are getting much worse right now before they get better, but keep staying safe and healthy. Wear your mask. Stay home as much as you can. It's a responsibility that we all have right now to not only take care of ourselves, but each other too. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this short and sweet, quickie episode today. Let me know what's on your mind on Instagram. I'm at Bree_Schmidt. Or you can send me an email at contact@breeschmidt.com. I'll be back next week with a longer episode, so I will see you then. Thanks for listening, as always. Until next time.